Welcome to the Skin Philosophy Edit with your host, myself, Annalouise Kenny. I'm here to bring to you the knowledge and skills to level up your business. We are speaking to industry experts across the industry to make sure that you're getting your knowledge in skincare, equipment, ingredients, and everything else you need to make sure you have the best of your business. Welcome back to the Skin Philosophy Edit with myself, Annalouise, and we are here with Katie Onyejekwe, who is esthetician, skincare educator and skin specialist. And it is lovely to have you in, Katie. Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start with the beginning. So what made you get into this industry?
Yeah, sure. So, I'm 31 now.
Yeah.
I started straight after high school. So when I was in high school, I was a typical teenage girl. I was obsessed with makeup more so than skincare. And I was really good at science. I loved science. I loved learning about the skin science, or not skin science, but biology specifically. Yeah. And I was deciding whether to do forensic science or go to college and do beauty therapy. And at the time, uni courses had skyrocketed. It's just when they changed them to, I think it was $9,000 a year. And my parents said to me, look, we'll support you either way, but to go and do forensic science, it's going to cost you 27k. Are you sure? And so I decided to do beauty therapy, but I was quite lucky in that the college that I went to, it was Kingston College at the time, and they had a course which was the BTEC National Diploma in Beauty Therapy Applied Sciences. So they had VTCT level 2, 1 in beauty therapy, but BTEC was equivalent to level 3 sort of plus, and so it covered all of the modules that you would in the other two, but then also went into more scientific modules as well, which is why I really liked it, because I loved science.
Yeah.
So I started off straight after high school, did the course for 2 years, and then I did a year in makeup after that, VTCT in makeup, and then I worked in a salon for I think almost 3 years, so doing treatments, facials, waxing, massage, the lot. And that was when I was sort of in my late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to go all the way from there, but that's how I started.
Okay, so say, for example, the makeup. What made you decide that? And did you use it afterwards?
Yes, definitely. So we did a small amount of makeup on the beauty therapy course.
They covered nothing.
Yeah, it was very small. And I've always been, one, obsessed with science, but also really creative as a person. I loved art. Art and science were my two favourite subjects. So it kind of makes sense why I went into beauty, because it's kind of a combination of the two.
Yeah.
So I did my makeup year course, and I was working still because it was just a part-time course at the time. And I worked as a makeup artist after that. So doing freelance makeup for clients. So I did a few brides and also people for proms and nights out and things like that, events and stuff. And it was nice. I think having those practical skills is always good, because you can always do them alongside any job, really.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I am so happy that I did that.
Yeah. And then when you went into the salon, you were mainly doing which type of treatments? Because the reason I'm saying is, years ago, the different types of treatments weren't the treatments you're doing now.
Yes.
It's like your facials.
Yes.
And, obviously the movement into more advanced skin treatments, you're just like, wow, I can do so much more.
Yeah.
So you were more on the just general at the time, and then working way up.
Yes, so we had Dermalogica facials, but then we also did Gino facials and Casey, so the electrical kind of facials. So we offered all three of those across the salon, and they were the main ones that I did. And then we obviously did massage and waxing and all the other treatments as well. But yeah, that was what it was like. I was 19 then, so whatever the maths is, 31 now. So it's a long time ago. And, back then, and I'd like to think it's changed a lot now, and it has, and especially after lockdown, it was really badly paid. Yes. Really badly. Terribly badly paid at the time. But I loved it. I loved working with clients and seeing new people every day, and my returning customers that would come back and treating them.
And education with Dermalogica was amazing at that time, because you didn't get that education in beauty school, you in skin. So it was great too. And even I remember Gino's was nice, was good enough. Their training as well, and even Casey. But I remember the Gino one being good, but Dermalogica's
amazing at their centre in Leatherhead, which I think is still
going.
It's still there. Yeah. And I was so excited to go there, and for me, Dermalogica, even to this day, I talk about the brand all the time, and it would be a dream to work with them again, because they're incredible. The products really work. They're all about the science. The treatments are great. So it was amazing.
Their thing was based on, they started from an education, the internal what was it called? Internal Dermal Institute or something. So they started as a school. So their skincare was built off teaching people about skin. So yeah, they're really, really good. So after the salon, what did you do then?
Yeah, so as I said, I did that makeup course as well, and I was working in salon, and it got to a point where, and I think a lot of people are at that sort of time. Like I said, it wasn't great pay. And I was like, what do I do next? I really wanted to further my skills, and I wanted to see if I could work in-house for a brand, like at the office. But it was very difficult, and I'm sure a lot of therapists have found this, maybe less so now, but getting office-based experience when you've only ever worked in salon. People just interview and you say, have you worked in an office? And you say no. And they're like, well, we're not going to hire you. And I thought it was so silly, because working with people every day, and there's so many skills that you pick up that, for example, someone in an office wouldn't necessarily have picked up. So what I did was I was very fortunate that whilst I was working at the salon, my parents actually renovated our spare room into like a home beauty room. So I was able to do treatments at home.
Nice. Yeah.
And so I would offer mainly facials, waxing and nails at home. And I got an apprenticeship at Anne Summers' head office doing a business administration course.
Oh, wow, cool.
Because they said to me, look, and Jacqueline Gold, who's always been such a special person for me, she passed away a few years ago, but she was all about championing women. And I had this interview and I said, look, I don't have any experience in office work. She was looking for a junior PA on the team. And I was always very organised. I was like, I just really want to get office experience. They offered me this apprenticeship, but I said to them, I need a full-time wage. And they were very kind in that they said, look, do the apprenticeship and we'll pay you a full-time salary as well. And I could still do my treatments outside of work.
Yeah.
I could drive to work. It was near my house. So it was perfect because I was getting the office experience, I was getting a qualification, and I could still do my treatments outside of work at the weekend, because it was Monday to Friday and you didn't work in the evenings.
And working for Anne Summers, that would have been cool. Like,
yeah,
learning.
It was incredible. And working so closely with a female CEO, that experience is invaluable. Like, she taught me so much about being a woman in business, and now working for myself is so important, So I did that for a short time and then went travelling. Came back and I still do my treatments as and when I could. And then I got a job at Marks and Spencer's head office, working across, it was a fashion team at the time. But fortunately, they were launching an editorial platform where I could do a lot of writing about beauty because of my background. So I wrote a lot of articles for them and got to work with the beauty teams at M&S. So that was getting me that experience working in-house, which was invaluable. And then sadly, our whole team got made redundant during COVID.
Yeah.
And so it was lockdown. I was like, okay, what am I going to do? And I started up my Instagram page when I was at M&S, but I didn't really start taking it seriously until lockdown because I had a lot more time. So I started creating content on my page, creating a lot of infographics and educational content. And then I got a job at Estee Lauder head office. And I think what got me that job was having that page as well to demonstrate that expertise as well as the qualifications, but to demonstrate that I could talk about skin.
Yeah.
So I worked at Estee Lauder, which is an experience.
Amazing.
Yeah, and an incredible brand to work for and to have in your CV.
So what were you doing with them at the time?
So I got a job as social content and influencer coordinator.
So you had to go, and were you more like, okay, I'm going to cover the products, going to cover the treatments, I'm going to cover everything, beauty side, everything.
Yeah, I mean, so they had the skincare and the makeup, obviously, because it was for Estee Lauder brand.
Yeah.
And so there's a few things I was doing. I was helping their beauty advisors create content for their channels on how they could educate on the products.
Okay.
So I was doing a lot of that, writing some content for their sort of editorial platform on the Estee Lauder website.
Oh, wow.
And then working with influencers and on the social media side of things. So it was a lot of stuff that I'd done myself.
Yeah, but all of those stuff, they're huge. You're basically managing the marketing on socials for them. All of that makes you highly valuable as a marketing person, not just socials person, but to manage influencers, to manage the content on website, to manage how other beauty advisors are putting out that content.
Yes.
That's a huge amount with such a huge conglomerate. They're massive.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant, the marketing experience you've got.
No, it was incredible. And it's funny because if you would have asked me when I was in, working in salon, do you want to work in marketing? I would have said no.
Yeah.
But it is all a form of marketing in a way, you know?
Yeah.
And I've always said, even now, I'll say, I'm not a marketer. I'm not a salesperson. I like to educate and I like to help people.
Yeah.
And obviously, by proxy, that ends up marketing a product or helping making sales.
Yeah.
But to me, it's always been, the integrity has always been to help someone with their
Feel
skin
better.
and
Yeah.
help them feel good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was at Estee Lauder head office, and during that time there was a skin consultancy service called Leone, and they offered like one-to-one skin consultations. So you
Okay.
could just do it virtually.
Okay.
So for me, it was just another way to earn cash.
Yeah.
And I was always sort of trying to juggle multiple things. I've always been that type of person.
Yeah.
And so on the side, I was working for Leone as a skin mentor. So what we'd do is someone would book in for a session, and we'd have a virtual consultation. They'd send me pictures of their skin, and then I'd build them a routine.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was doing that, and I left Estee Lauder. I'll be honest, I left because I wasn't feeling completely fulfilled.
Yeah. Okay.
I wanted to do more of the education.
More than that, you were doing so.
And I feel like there's always a bit of shame when you leave a job, but I've always been a person, if I'm not happy,
Yeah.
I will leave, because I know that I've got the hard working personality to figure it out.
But also you grow. It's like being in a relationship. You change, you grow. Sometimes it doesn't suit you.
Yeah.
Like it's there's no harm in leaving it. But
Exactly.
you're leaving it to challenge yourself more.
Yeah, well, yeah, and also just to stay true to like the bits that I enjoy, right?
Yeah.
And it, it was an incredible experience, and it's great to have, on my CV. But yeah, so I left, and I was doing those consultations whilst I was figuring things out, and I got approached by Skinrocks, which was my last job before going freelance. They were hiring for a copywriter, but for them it was Skinrocks. I mean, Caroline Highland is all about education, and Skinrocks, when I joined, they didn't have their own products. But they had on their website an editorial platform again where they would share non-biased educational content. So I went over there and I was like, great, I like to write, I like to educate, more importantly. And so I was fortunate to get that job full time. So I was writing all of their like educational content for their website.
Wow.
And then working there, I mean, it was incredible, because during my almost 3 years there, I started off freelance as a copywriter, but then went full time. They launched the app, the Skinrocks app, which is home to, again, editorial content that I still write for now. But then they have their products.
Yeah.
Now they're in Liberty, Space NK, and that all happened whilst I was there. So it was incredible to be part of a business that was growing so rapidly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I was fortunate during my time there to be really well supported, and because I'd shown such a love for education, I got promoted to content education manager.
Yeah.
So it was, sorting out the education for the products when we launched the skincare line.
Okay.
How we're going to describe them, how we're going to tell our customers to use them.
Yeah.
How we're going to talk about them, how we're going to feature them in editorial content.
Yeah.
So it was incredible, because I got to do the best of everything that I've always enjoyed.
Yeah.
Going into Space NK when they very first launched, and training the advisors there on the product. So it was like all my dreams came true, because I got to do all the bits that I loved.
But also it seems like in every job you're key at growing stuff. You're so good at growing stuff. Do you know, helping with that journey?
Yeah, I think so, hopefully.
But it's like some people, everybody has different what they want or what they want to do with, but like you like to see a challenge and like, go with that challenge and like grow something. And, it's really great. That experience of seeing that business change so much would have been so informative and so,
absolutely,
it really, it gives you wealth of experience.
It does. And also, it's not all like roses, because it can be daunting when you're in a growing business and you get a bit of imposter syndrome. You think, oh God, like, I've been promoted to this role, and I'm like, can I do it? And you just, that's just life, isn't it? You're always going to sort of have those moments. But it was incredible. And then I think it just got to a point where I was doing those bits and I was enjoying it. But I just thought, I want to do this for myself now and work freelance. And I truly believed that I could do that. And I had, some great people around me that gave me such great advice that had done similar in terms of gone freelance. Yeah. And so now here I am.
So now at the moment, freelancing.
Yes.
So what are you doing mainly of, like, how are you working with companies? Because so what we get a lot of is people either thinking about coming into the industry or they've just started the industry and they're looking at the people that come on the podcast and they're kind of going, oh my God, she's amazing. She's doing this and this and this. And what they don't understand is the wide opportunities of jobs in every sense, like in the beauty industry or aesthetic industry, whatever you want to call it. So now, like, first of all, what your first step, what was it? Like you decide, okay, I'm going freelance.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Like, what do you...
Of course. So I would say before you decide to go freelance, obviously make sure that you've got some money put aside.
Yeah, true.
If you can do that. If you can't, but and have people around you that have either done that to support you in terms of giving you advice, because I think it's one thing to speak to people that maybe haven't done it because there's always going to be a bit of that fear. But I had a really lovely friend, Adiola, who has gone freelance. She worked in makeup education and she's been freelancing for 2 years. And she said to me one day, we had dinner, and she said, put this date in your diary. This is the date you're going to hand your notice in and you're going to do it, because you could just keep saying, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. Anyway, so I did it. I went freelance. The first thing I did was created a deck, which basically just had, it's on my Instagram, you'll see it in my bio, but it literally just has an intro to my experience.
Yeah.
And then examples of work that I've done throughout my time employed.
Yeah.
And then a page on the services that I can provide.
Yeah.
But then also, obviously, I can work bespoke to brands. So the things I do now is, of course, content creation on Instagram. Yeah. So if people want a qualified expert who's worked on skin to create content, I do that. Writing articles, so... I still write for the Skinbox app. I'm writing a piece for Cosmo at the moment. So educational content, written or video form. So if you're someone who's an expert, you're qualified in skin, you've got the knowledge in your brain, you can do it on video, or you can write it. People want to hear it.
Yeah.
And then also facials. Yeah. So I'm just looking at a residency to just do facials somewhere a few times a month.
Like, no, you don't have to be specific, but is it London?
Soho.
Soho,
I'm
nice.
still sort of figuring that out, because I really want to get back to working on skin with people, because that's how you stay in touch with skincare, I think. It's one thing to know how to look after your skin, but other people's is very different. But then more recently, and I think this is where other sort of skin professionals could really tap into. I was approached by Biossance recently, and they had an influencer event where they were taking influencers to the Cotswolds, and they had a launch of a new product, and I went there to give facials, including the new product, to these influencers, and spent the day there, stayed overnight, and it was lovely. But that is something that I think people wouldn't think of as a skin professional, to be like, oh, I can work with a brand at one of their events, because a lot of brands have people in-house, bigger brands, but a lot of them can't afford to have an education team full-time or have an expert on their books full-time, but they just need someone when they have a launch. So it's thinking of things like that.
Because one of our teachers does it sometimes with Charlotte for Chanel. I'm like, and then there was another one, they were like just some of the brands you could work with. It's really, really nice. Okay, let's talk about the controversial topic of influencers, educated, qualified, versus influencers with opinions, not so qualified. How do you feel? You're in that industry, you're the qualified one, you are an influencer, this is what you do, you're very good at marketing. How do you feel on the influencers giving opinions?
I think everybody has a place. I would say there are influencers that are great marketers. They know how to tell a story with a product. They've been given the information, so it's not so much about concern over whether it's factually accurate, but they know how to tell a story, and they've built a community that is really bought into what they say. They're great marketers. Then you've got people that are experts who have worked with people's skin. They still do if they're dermatologists, and those are the people that should be recommending, well, with a consultation, but those are the people that should be going sort of more deeper into skin concerns. And if you're experiencing this, you might want to try this. Whereas an influencer can say, I have oily skin and I've found this has helped me. I think it's in the wording, and it's just how it's portrayed. I think there's space for everybody. Some of the most knowledgeable experts in the world are not great marketers as such, because they are great at helping other people and educating, but maybe they're not marketers. So I think there's space for both. I
agree. Like, there is a certain, it's only when it's
if someone says, you know, I find this very helpful, they're doing it from like the best of their heart.
Yes, exactly.
If someone says, I find this very helpful, but actually it's something they're paid and they're not telling the truth,
Yeah.
that's where I have serious issue
Yeah.
with, because like everybody can have different things that will suit them, won't suit them, and being honest. And it's fine if something paid, if you find it's like, I know some amazing influencers that are not qualified in this, and they won't say anything unless they 100% know that it suits them and they're happy with it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much they're paid. And then it's the stuff that like, oh yeah, this is amazing, and you know that influencer's not putting that on that skin.
No, exactly. I think it's about I think it's really important to have integrity.
Yeah.
Because people can see through that.
Yeah.
And you don't.
Yeah.
Well, you like to think, but yeah, I think it's a real shame. And I think, you know, for me personally, if I do a paid job, it will only ever be for a brand with the product that I've tried, or ask them to send it to me beforehand if I've not tried it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be known for recommending stuff that I haven't tried.
Yeah.
Like, where's the integrity in that?
Yeah, you want to sleep at night.
Yeah.
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 So with your residency that you're looking up at the moment, or figuring
fingers
out.
crossed.
Yeah. What kind of treatments are you going to deliver? Like, are you going to go more holistic side? Are you going to get machines? What do you think? What's Katie's
I mean, I'm
style?
still chatting to the hopeful place that I'm going to be doing it at, because it'll be using their products and sort of their protocols.
Okay.
So we'll see, but it'll be sort of more like light pills.
Yeah.
Not anything too invasive.
Yeah.
A little bit of like electrical machinery, but not anything
aggressive.
No.
Yeah.
Too much. But I am going to do my level 4.
Yeah.
Skin philosophy.
Oh yeah.
In the new year, to do more to learn more invasive treatments.
There's a balance for both. It's great to get both done. It depends on like your branding as well and what you want to do, like skin needling and peels and all of those kind of stuff are amazing to have in treatments. But like we're just talking with Abigail James is the holistic side. It doesn't have to be aggressive all the time.
No, exactly.
Yeah, it can be both.
Yeah, so that would be more what I'd be focusing on in this place if it all goes through, is the more holistic side that can work alongside someone's routine at home.
Yeah.
But then eventually, hopefully, go further.
And is there anything down the future you're thinking you'd like to do? Like any goals, plans?
My friends always laugh at me because I'm such a relatively short-term person. But, you know, I've always had this dream, and do you remember back in the day there was, I think, what was the show called? I can't remember what it was called. 10 Years Younger or something like that. Yeah. And it wouldn't be like this, but I would just love to go on a show where you'd sit down and help someone like sort of revamp their whole routine, both makeup and skin. That's just been a dream for me. Always. I've always just thought I would love to do that and just help someone feel really good. Yeah.
Because you did that a bit with the Leone thing.
Yes, exactly.
The skin consultation. So it's like that plus extra on top and really making someone, that would be amazing. Yeah. That would be a great idea, and because the makeup side I love to
it. So like saying, okay, just say this person has hyperpigmentation. Here's how your skincare routine can help with that. Yeah. And then here's how makeup products can help if you're wanting to achieve a more even skin tone. So like that kind of thing. I've always just had that dream. So one day, hopefully it happens. Yeah. And then just doing more of the education, you know, I'd love to eventually, well, I would say work with one brand, but I wouldn't, because I just love skincare so much. So I don't think I'll ever just work with one brand. Yeah. Because there's so many great products out there. Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, doing more of the education, maybe creating a course of some kind. Yeah. But there's so many great ones out there, so we'll just see.
And where do you see like the industry going, say with the marketing side, like TikTok, Instagram, all of that? Like even YouTube isn't being used as much as it could be.
I think everyone's attention spans are getting shorter and shorter. I mean, TikTok, we definitely have to thank for that. So I think we're seeing a mixture. We're seeing a lot of people come off of social media. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know quite a few friends that have deleted Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a lot of, you know, it's just that constant taking in of information. Yeah. Not necessarily just to do with beauty, but just generally in life. So I feel like we're going to see people that are looking for comfort when they come onto social media. Yeah. And so even if it is still education, but in a way that doesn't feel salesy, it feels like you're just talking to your friend in the living room. Yeah. So I think we're going to see that, but it's balanced with the fact that everyone's attention spans are shorter. Yeah. Spans are shorter. So I don't know. I'm not sure if long form content is going to come back, but
really,
I don't know, because then you hear things, people saying that it is.
Yeah, YouTube longer ones.
It's constantly changing. I'll be honest, it is.
Yeah.
Social media is constantly changing.
So basically, when I'm in India, I can't access TikTok. So
wow.
So when I come back, I go on TikTok, and now I'm finding even TikTok shorts are TikTok is too long for me.
This is what I mean.
Yeah, like I've gotten worse.
Yeah.
Not even better, even when I've not been on TikTok for like a couple of months. But at the same time, I will sit and listen to podcasts.
Yes.
Or I will sit and listen to maybe a video, maybe put them on 1.5, but I'll still listen to it. So I don't know whether it's just the content and not the actual, it depends on the content.
Yeah. And also, when you're listening to a podcast, you can multitask, right?
Yes, true.
And I just think, as a society, we're just constantly doing. My friends always say to me, Katie, you're always doing something. You can't just make dinner. You've got to have something on the background so that you can listen to, because you can't just be present.
Yeah.
And it's so true. That's why people like to listen to podcasts, because they can listen to them whilst going for a walk or whilst doing something else.
They're saying now podcasts are going to explode in the next year or that.
Definitely.
Massively grown, which is funny because it grew just at lockdown. I think was it the year after, just ending lockdown, and then it kind of went quiet, and now it's kind of taken off again. But it's good because there's so much free education. People are learning so much. Yeah.
There's so much more now that you can access online to do like skin health and beauty, versus when I first started in the industry.
Yeah.
There's so much information out there, which is a blessing, but also I think a curse.
Yeah.
Because then people get really overwhelmed, they get confused. And also there's I saw a doctor yesterday for a treatment, and he was saying people are asking questions about things because they feel like they need to know, but unless you're actually giving the treatment, it's almost too much information, and then it makes you feel like you need to know it.
Yeah.
It's sort of, you become obsessed with finding out what manufacturer do you use, and what percentage do you use of this and this.
Yeah.
But actually, as a consumer, you need to know that detail.
Exactly, because that actually brings up another thing, and then we're going to finish, don't worry. But the formula, so basically I had someone say, one of the students, we were doing the level 4 skin training, and one of the students said, which percentage of vitamin C and which percent of hyaluronic acid? I said, that's not an answerable question. That is how long is a piece of string, because it depends on how it's formulated. It depends on which type, like hyaluronic acid, sodium hyaluronate, or low molecular. It depends on which type of vitamin C. It depends on that way that's stored, everything like that. It's not about that. It's basically how it works on your skin. That's it. That's all you can do with it. So that kind of, it's very hard, because now on socials that people want that information, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just go to someone who loves skin and ask them, they're knowledgeable in the skincare they do, and ask them what they would recommend for your skin. I think is the easiest way.
Absolutely. And it's not always thinking the higher the percentage, the better.
No.
Often it's the opposite way,
Yeah.
And it depends on what else someone else is using in their routine. So there's so many variables. I think we've got used to having information quickly, and black and white information quickly, when a lot of it isn't black and white. And the answer they don't want to hear is, it depends.
Yes.
But actually that is the answer that should be said.
And it is. It really
depends
does.
on
Yeah.
X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So again, I think that's when it comes back to social media, that is fueled, that kind of need or desire for accessible information, but sometimes it's sort of not taking account for the details that are going to be missing but are crucial when you're looking at someone's skin.
Okay, and last question, definitely last question. If you were a therapist starting off, what professional skincare brand would you say they should look at, or what variants or which ones do you like? If you're someone, because this is the question we get asked most, is which suppliers to go to when they're first starting into the industry.
I mean, Medicate.
Yes,
for
very
me,
nice.
I love their products.
Yeah.
The skin science is great. The formulations are great. Medicate and Dermalogica.
Dermalogica is a great
yes.
base.
But also, I recently went to a talk with Environ.
Yeah, lovely.
And I mean, Dr. Des Fernandez, the founder, a wealth of knowledge on vitamin A.
Yeah.
I could have stayed there all morning. So those would be my top 3.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100% agree.
Would you say so?
Yeah. Definitely. Dermalogica is a great starting ground, and it's a great education platform. So you learn loads. Medicate is like the silent coming in, silent, creeping into all the clinics, and they're doing really well. Like, they were more up north when the other suppliers were supplying them, so there was a load of clinics up north. But now Wigmore has taken them. I'd say they'll even get bigger in London.
Yeah,
you know, and Environ has just been around for forever, and they just know what they're doing. And he is unbelievable,
incredible. And so many, when I posted about that, I went to that, so many people replied and said, I've been using them for ages, my skin is amazing, my mum uses them, they're incredible. So like, the products clearly do work, because so many people are sort of advocates for them. For them, so
okay, brilliant. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Katie.
Me.
No problem. It was great. All the information, like loads of information for therapists.
Oh, thank you. And if you're a therapist and you're looking to go out on your own, just believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You've got the skills, you've got the knowledge. People need it. Create the opportunities. I saw someone the other day and she said, I didn't know you could be an educator freelance. I was like, if there's a need for it, you create it for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many. There's so many aspects to do it.
So you can do it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.